Hey everyone, welcome and thank you for coming. My name is Veronica and this is my channel, Veronica X Stitch. My channel is generally about cross stitch. Actually, it's almost entirely cross stitch. And this is my Flosstube video number 47. Flosstube also generally about cross stitch. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today is Saturday, June 22nd, 2024. I'm just getting back from StitchCon last weekend. And super excited, had a lot of fun, met a lot of new, wonderful, amazing people, and saw some of the returning, wonderful, amazing people that I met in the past in StitchCon. I'll tell you more about that after I get through my stitching stuff. So I've got a bunch to show you with regards to my stitching since last time, and so let's get started. So the first thing is something that I stitched on while at StitchCon. This is Queen of Freedom by Mirabilia. She is out of print, unfortunately. I had her signed by Nora Corbett at the Queen City Stitch Retreat last year, which was wonderful. So I'm going to try to hold her up as best I can. So here she is in total, how far I've gotten. I'm stitching her on 32 count We the People printed Lugana by Stitchery Express. Yeah, and you can see it's kind of got the wording in the background a little bit. I stitched her skin well, actually, let me show you what I did since last time first. So this is what I did in the retreat. I'll hold her up compared to last time so you can kind of see side by side. Actually, other side's better because then it's, yeah. Oh, sorry, this side since last time. And you can see just a little bit down there at the bottom. I'm stitching her skin. Everything is I'm doing as called for, except for her skin. I'm doing 2/1/10, or I did 2/1/10. Darkened her up just a little bit, just, you know, upped one shade, I think, and everything, because to me she was kind of too pale. And yeah, I love the way she's turning out. So that's my first work in progress, or WIP, that I'm going to show you. Next up, so last month in May, I did my own little Stitch Mania thing. On the 5 Fridays in May, I started 5 new things that I really wanted to start. One of them is called Wind Moon Fairy by Nene Thomas, charted by Nene Thomas. I'll put a picture of what that's going to look like here when it's all done. And in the month of May, or well, I think I started it just before Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, I worked on this almost entirely in May. Yeah, I got a bunch done last time, but didn't quite finish the page. So spent a couple days and decided to finish the page. So here's where that was compared to last time. Let me zoom in just a little bit. And yeah, not much to look at yet. It's still just blue background, but you know, it's been fun to stitch, nice and fast with, so I'm doing this is 25 count, easy grid Lugana. Doing this 2/1/10, and it's so much faster than the full cross. And you can't tell the difference in my opinion, so I'm thoroughly enjoying how fast it's going. Yeah, I like my projects to get to kind of like a good stopping point, and since I only spent a week on each of these, my Stitch Mania ones, you'll kind of notice a theme that I picked some of them back up, and just if I had like a little bit more to go, that's what I did. So I'm gonna kind of fold them. By the way, the needle minder is the finished piece too. Oh goodness, the lights, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but I found that somewhere on Etsy, and I apologize to the maker because I don't remember where I bought it from. Okay, next up, by the way, if you follow me on Instagram, these won't be surprises for the most part, except for a couple that I haven't posted there yet. I'm switching this up. Next one, in a similar vein, this is another one that I started for Stitch Mania. This is Japanese Garden by Dimensions. It's a Dimensions School Collection Kit. And what I did, I apologize for repeating myself. If you watch my last video, you'll see all this, but I kind of divide the chart. So the chart comes like divided down the middle in 2 pages like that. And then I further divide it so that the whole thing is kind of into 16ths. And so I started working here on this top 16th. Took a picture and put it into Pattern Keeper to make marking it off much easier. And last time I got a good portion of that top 16th done, but here compared to last time. And so I finished that off, including some of the back stitching, which is really just kind of random branches in the tree. Sorry, up here. And, but yeah, this page, the 16th, is now completely done. So, again, I feel like I'm like more of a process stitcher, but I like to get things to a stopping point, because when I come back to them, I want to be able to pick it up again. And if I was in the middle of something and there was a random missing stitch somewhere, I don't like that. So it kind of like makes me feel like, okay, I settled now, I can put this down. When I come back to it, I'll be able to figure it out. By the way, that's all in the kit fabrics, 16 count Aida, using all the kit flosses. Next up, I've been working on this one more recently, another Stitch Mania piece. And I'll put a picture here first. This is Octopus Treasure Cave by Châtelaine. I'm stitching this on a black 32 count Lugana again. Yeah, I don't know what this is going to look like on the white background backing board that I have, but so here's where it is now. Let me kind of do side by side again. So I had done the first, this is in like steps, right? The first step has you do this whole border, including beads, which I'm not going to do the beads now. I'll wait till the end because I like to wrap my scroll rod and I like to wrap it tight, and that'll crush the beads. So, but what I am doing is finishing out this border. I didn't quite get it as far along as I wanted, but so I finished the outlining here, which is with a Gloriana Pearl Cotton. Not too fun to work with, I'll be honest. And then I started on this black work in here, which I've never really done black work before. I wasn't too crazy about it. I like the way it looks, but stitching it was a little tedious. They're all different. So on this, the top is different and the sides are different and the bottom. So they're different patterns. And I think this was the most tedious of them that I picked to start, but still, it's still tedious because I have to have the light behind it because it's black fabric. And, but I do like the way it looks again. So the top and the bottom are with the same color. I think it's like a Gloriana, like peacock blue or something. I don't remember the number. The sides are something different. They're a Gloriana that I was unable to get, but I was able to order it from somewhere, and it's coming this week. Even so, I'm going to put this down because I want to do I miss X's. I want to make X's again. This was outlining in black work. I think it's really pretty though. My husband and I have been watching that, I forgot what it's called, something about the octopus on Disney Plus, the National Geographic thing. It is so good, so fascinating. Those creatures are. So next up is, okay, so now we're getting into finished stuff. So while I was at StitchCon, and just before StitchCon, I worked on this piece too. So since my last video, I have finished this piece right here on the cover, Castle by Teresa Wentzler. So let me show that to you. This is a big finish for me at StitchCon. I got to ring the bell. Oopsie. So here's side by side. I just had that little bit on the bottom underneath the tail to do, and part of the tail as well. So here's the whole thing. This is on, I mean, so I ordered 32 count Mercedes Lugana. It shrank so dang much that it's more like a 36. I mean, I think I measured 36 to 39 holes per inch. So keep that in mind if you buy dyed fabric. I don't know if this picture this plus or a Lugana thing or whatever, but even so, I like the way it looks. It got a little bulky at some places, but yeah, it turned out nice. I also did Kreinik blending filament. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in the dragon, but on the old Teresa Wentzler website, I downloaded a conversion or a thing where you can say like what you're adding to each one. And so I did that, and I don't think I ever want to do it again because blending filament is a pain to work with. It splits and it frays, and it's, after a while it doesn't look good. You have to have really short lengths. Like I think I made them 12 inches or less once I figured it out. And I also figured out, at first I was like actually including them in with the original DMC stitch like you do with blends, and it was breaking before the DMC would, and it was really annoying. So then I learned, okay, well, what you do is you stitch the DMC first, and then you go over it again with the blending filament. Once I got that figured out, I was going much faster, but it was still way slower than even just using a Krynic braid or regular DMC. But anyway, I do like the way this looks. She is really sparkly in real life. I don't think the camera is really showing that. So, and I'll also insert a picture of me ringing the bell at StitchCon holding it up. If you're not familiar, if you don't watch like Pam and Steph, Just Keep Stitching, they do a thing where when you finish something, you get to ring a little like bell. And so they put up a bell in the front of the room, in the stitching room, and every time someone finishes something, they're supposed to go up and ring it. People don't always do that, but it's fun. You can hold it up and everyone cheers. So it was fun. I did it when I went to StitchCon a couple of years ago. I finished a couple of pieces then too. Some people will just like save several projects and just put one last stitch in. I didn't do that, but I was coming up on a finish, and this gave me a good target. So I'm happy to say that I achieved that, although I will say that I stitched a lot of I got all the Krynic done before I went, so I didn't have to take that stuff with me. And I got most of the stitching in the rocks done before I left. I still had some stitching down in the water to do around the dragon's tail. Actually, it was over here. The dragon's tail, and all the back stitching and underneath the tail. So, I spent maybe a half hour stitching on it at StitchCon, but still, it was a legit finish. Something that kind of worked out, and I wasn't really planned for until just before. So I'm excited. I'm gonna have to get this framed or do something with it, because it took me 5 years to do. 5 years and 3 months, and I forgot how many days, but my Instagram post says so many days. Obviously I did other things too, so it wasn't like constant, but still, I really enjoy stitching Teresa Wentzler patterns. They are slow because of all of the fractionals and blends and back stitching, but so worth it because the detail just, is stunning in person. Like, pictures aren't doing this thing justice, I'm sure. So the other thing I want to show you is not something that I finished since last time, like this one, but I had finished a couple of things. So I dropped off a piece that I had finished back in March at my framer, and unfortunately she wasn't able to get it finished in time. I wanted to have it framed and take it to StitchCon because they have a brag table there where people can put up their beautiful pieces, and a lot of other YouTube Flosstubers will show like pictures and videos from it. I didn't do that because everyone else did. I did that I think 1 or 2 times ago from StitchCon. But anyway, I wanted to bring that there because I was so proud of it, and it's such a big, tall, majestic piece. But unfortunately, my framer wasn't able to finish it in time. So I quickly, I didn't want to bring something I had brought before. So I have a lot of like unfully finished pieces. And there are a couple that I just went and bought some like 8x10 frames, stretched them, pinned them myself, and brought them to the brag table myself. So these still have my little card in it, but a few years ago I finished these Miyazaki pieces. Let me get the other one too. Or Miyazaki themed pieces. These are by LKA Cross, or I don't know if it's Elka Cross. So this one is called Spirited Away 1 in Totoro, I think, or Spirited Away in Totoro. So I just stretched them with some pins and over what is it, foam board or black foam board, I don't know, and then popped them into frames. There was not enough room for the glass, but that's okay because you can see them a whole heck of a lot better. And people came up, people liked them, so it was really cool. I think it's kind of niche. Not everyone knows what these are. Lisa Cross by Floss, who I love her channel, came up, and she one of her grandkids really liked these and wanted her to stitch one, so I told her where she could buy them. And so follow her if you want to see if you want to see someone else stitching one of these. But there are more Miyazaki themed patterns on Elka Cross, or LKA Cross. I don't know how to say it. It's a Russian site, a Russian designer, and you can just download the patterns. They're not that expensive. I should probably go buy some more. I showed one recently that I might do, and my Mania Starts did not do, of course. So that's all I have to show you in terms of my stitching. I have a few things that I do want to share with you from StitchCon. So I'm not going to share the swag stuff because that's as cool as that was, like everyone's showing it. But I will show you some of the amazing things that I purchased or was gifted there that, you know, really, really stood out to me. So the first one, close your eyes if you don't like swearing, but this is from my friend Marianne. She made this for me. It's so pretty, so sparkly. It says made by Marianne, or handmade by Marianne, sorry. So hi Marianne. She was going through some stuff, but I think this is so pretty and so funny. Next up is my friend Sharon makes bags, and she does such a great job. These are like so perfect, the corners and everything. She quilts, and these are beautifully quilted bags. Project bags, sorry. I don't use project bags that much. I do for some of my projects, and I really have to start, but I usually use the cheap Amazon things like here. But this is so pretty, and it's got a little scissors for the zipper pull. And then finally I did the smalls exchange, which I showed in my last or 2 videos ago. I don't remember which one. Which my gift was in that video, the thing that I made. And now I'm going to show you the thing that I picked up and received. So this is from, I apologize, wrote it in the inside of the box, Brenda Gibson, who is on Instagram, _spare_minute_stitching. In this box, let me show you. It's got like all these little like old I don't know, fashion pattern things, and the top too. I thought it was really cool. I like the decoration and everything. And she made some of the most amazing things. She made this beautiful pillow, which I love this. I don't know if she made this herself or if someone else made this. I mean, like finished it, but it's beautiful finishing and everything. It's like perfect. And also this lovely box. So I had two stitch pieces in my what do you call it? The StitchCon smalls exchange. She made me 2 smalls, which are so lovely. This thing opens up and all these wonderful things inside. It's got like a measuring tape. Sorry, it's hard to show you. A little scissors. I love these kinds of scissors too. If you've ever seen them, they're not that expensive, and they're super sharp and super tiny, and they have a nice little cap on them. Little pin cushion with some pins in it. Sorry, it's hard to show. A bunch of clips, which I do use these for when I'm pinning things, and this a scissors fob, which is attached to the scissors and the measuring tape. So I think I got everything in there. Yeah, it's a really nice little set. Pulled the pin out by accident, but yeah, thank you. That was so pretty. And so now I'm going to show you some of my haul purchases, things I received, found, whatever. So if you don't like this, you're welcome to go. But I don't know. I find it fun to watch other people's stuff, so I'll show what I got. So the StitchCon has a big trunk show with several designers, fabric dyers, makers, whatnot, and it's, oh my gosh, it's like so beautiful, everything, just looking at it. And then of course it's everyone's there shopping and stuff, so of course I had to go buy some things. They had one of the trunk shows was by the Artsy Housewife, who is a newish designer. This is a very popular chart right now called Beach Rat, which I think is just too funny. And yeah, I went in early just so I could grab one because I knew this would be popular. Of course, you can buy them online and buy PDFs and stuff too, but I just thought it was so funny. And then you can do it both with and without the words. So you could just have the seagull and the seagrass or the words. I bought it for the words, so that's why. There's that one. Works by ABC had a trunk show, and this is one of her new releases this year, Cherry Blossoms, which is a they call repeating motif pattern. I think it's so pretty. I'm doing another cherry blossom piece right now already, but I just think they're so pretty. Liz Matthews had a trunk show. This is Forget Me Not. And Jeanette Douglas had a trunk show, and this is Blooming Bouquets 2. Some of these things aren't my normal style, but just seeing them stitched up is so pretty, and seeing like the stitched piece sells it, you know. Oftentimes, this is a nice picture, and so is the Liz Matthews one. I mean, actually, all of these are really nice pictures. Sometimes, though, you look at the charts, and the photography, I don't know if it's just bad, or they're just trying not to get people to look at the picture and copy it or something. But it doesn't sell the piece to me unless I see it stitched up and big and beautiful and bright and colorful. So there are several of these Blooming Bouquets and several other beautiful Jeanette Douglas pieces. I bought one more, and it's somewhere buried in my bag. So hold please. Okay, I found it. So I've also bought this spring wool pin cushion and fob. I figure maybe this could be a future smells exchange. Next up, I'm going to show you a couple of things I picked up at the freebie table. Freebie table. So another feature of StitchCon is people can bring, you know, charts that they probably don't want to stitch anymore, already stitched, and you know, just people's tastes change. Sometimes most of the stuff up there that stayed there was like kind of a little older, out of fashion, 80s, 90s time frame. And actually all the things that I picked up are from that. So this is from copyright 1994, Looney Tunes on waste canvas. I am like 99% sure I already have this, and I bought it back in the 90s, and it's in my basement, and I'm 99% sure I started on, where is it? It's on the inside here. Yeah, Pepe Le Pew. I have to look for that. But in any case, part of the reason I bought this is one of my kids loves Roadrunner, and my husband loves Sylvester. So I doubt I will do these on waste canvas, because that's kind of a pain, but, you know, maybe. Next up, I picked up this no-sew bookmarks. I mean, it's just bookmarks. I don't know, I feel like bookmarks are so underrated when it comes to cross-stitch gifts. They're so easy to do, and most people read. So I don't know, I think they're nice for like gifts and stuff. And then finally I picked up, oh, I should look at the dates on these because I think that's interesting. This is, let's see if I can find it. I don't have my glasses on, so I might not. So this one, I can't find the date. Sometimes they'll have, oh wait. No, sometimes they'll have like copyright and then the date. So I don't know when this one was made. It looks older, so my guess would be like, they don't really do those like leaflets so much anymore. Like, so my guess would be 80s or 90s. But this last one, is there a date? No. No date. There's a phone number. Okay, anyway, just so. This is called Seashore Fancies 3, Shells with a Country Look. I'm not really much of a country stitcher, but I do like the sea and beachy things. And so while most of what I stitch isn't really stuff I would put up in my house, these are, so I think they're pretty. I have more of things like that too. And finally, the big thing that took most of my money was fabric. And I had a list of things that I was looking for specifically. So the trunk show, or not trunk show, the annex had fabric from I think like 4 or 5 different dyers. They had Grace Notes, they had Atomic Ranch, they had Fiber on a Whim, 2 or 3 more, some that I had never heard of before. And just looking at, I mean, it's so hard to buy fabric on the internet because, you know, you don't see it in person. And of course, every, you know, the dyers will try to repeat dyes, but they don't turn out exactly the same, which is kind of what makes it special. But at the same time, it might not be exactly what you want. So that's why I like seeing fabric in person. So I bought most of these with specific projects in mind, but I'll show each of them to you. So I got this Atomic Ranch Christmas Night. I got a fat quarter of 28 count linen. So I think that's so pretty. I saw a lot of people buying this one too. I have, like I said, specific things in mind. Won't say what yet because that might change. This one is Grace Notes Arpeggio, 28 count linen. This one's really pretty. And again, you know, it's not going to show up as it does in person, but I like it. This one's just already, like, you usually have to like wait in line to get your fabric cut into, you know, your fat quarter, your fat half, but that one's already cut, so it's kind of nice. I was like, hey, perfect. That was also a fat quarter, sorry. This is a fat quarter of, so 40 count Atomic Ranch Dune linen. So 40 count isn't what I normally stitch, but I figured for some of the newer projects I got. Yeah, I think it's supposed to look a little like pink sand like. And last, but certainly not least, this is also Atomic Ranch in a fat half of 28 count linen in Serenity, which is really pretty. Can't even see the colors. It's got like a bunch of different colors on it, and it just looks like kind of an off-white or light blue on the screen. But it's got pinks, it's got greens, purples, so it's still very like light, but anyway. That is all I have that I want to show you. So let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna work on stitching some of my other things, and then I'll make another video, and I don't know when. I am, just so you all know, I'm going to the Grace Notes retreat in early August in Allentown, Pennsylvania, so I'm excited to have 2 for the year. I do love me some retreats. I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to getting a lot more stitching done. Yeah, so thank you all for watching, and have a nice rest of your day, week, month. Stay cool. I'll see you next time when I make another video. Bye!